heard about you yesterday. A friend of mine in Jackson Hole was talking.
The Yellowstone universe isn't just a TV franchise, it's a living, breathing epic. It's a saga etched into the very fabric of America, woven with blood, land, and unbreakable loyalty. It's the story of a family whose fight for survival and power transcends time, and now it's more alive and more intense than ever. After a long 2-year hiatus, the Dutton family saga has returned, and it's coming at us with an unparalleled force. Not only are we getting the final season of the flagship Yellowstone series, a show that has redefined modern westerns, but we're also diving back into the wild, heart-pounding action of the fan-favorite prequel, 1923, which has only grown in intensity and depth with its second season. But hold on, folks. This isn't the end. No, not by a long shot. What we're witnessing is just the opening of an even grander chapter in the Yellowstone story. A brand new era is dawning, and it's going to be nothing short of legendary. We're talking about 2 all-new sequels already in production, The Madison, which has just wrapped filming, and 4 Sixes, which is charging full speed ahead. These sequels promise to expand the universe in ways we've only dreamed of, exploring new territories, new conflicts, and new Duttons. But the most thrilling part, these aren't just side stories, they're integral pieces of the puzzle that will help shape the Dutton dynasty for generations to come. And as for what comes next after 1923, well, we finally have an answer, and trust me, it's worth the wait. Get ready to meet 1944, the next heart-stopping, edge-of-your-seat chapter in this sprawling saga. But here's the kicker. 1944 isn't just a standalone story. No, this one is going to hit harder and feel more connected to 1923 than we ever imagined. Recent clues suggest that the story will center on one of the most iconic characters from 1923, taking their journey into a bold, dangerous, and utterly unpredictable new frontier. The stakes are higher, the landscape is more treacherous, and the Dutton legacy is in the fight of its life. Can you feel the anticipation building? Because I can. 1944 is shaping up to be more than just another chapter in the Dutton story. It's going to be a defining moment in the Yellowstone universe. And we're all in for the ride of a lifetime. The family saga is far from over, it's just getting started. So let's talk about it. According to several industry insiders and whispers that are quietly circulating within the entertainment world, the highly anticipated filming of 1944 is set to kick off later this year. That's right after months of speculation and eager fan discussions, we're finally getting closer to the next explosive chapter in the Yellowstone saga. If everything goes according to plan, and if there's one thing Taylor Sheridan is known for, it's his meticulous attention to detail and his commitment to deadlines, we could be looking at a premiere as early as January 2026. Yes, 2026. Just imagine it, the dawn of a brand new year with a brand new chapter in the Yellowstone universe to sink our teeth into. And if Sheridan follows the familiar rollout pattern we've seen with previous series like 1923 and 1883, we might even get our hands on a teaser trailer by as early as fall 2025. Picture this, the golden, sun-soaked Montana skies stretching for miles, the haunting, unforgettable score rising in the background, and the Dutton Ranch caught in the unrelenting grip of wartime uncertainty. The camera pans over familiar landscapes, but there's something darker now, something on the horizon. It might feel like a long wait now, but trust me, the moment that first glimpse of 1944 drops, it's going to hit harder than any trailer we've seen before. And when that happens, I guarantee you we'll all be talking about it for days. Because if there's one thing we've learned from watching this franchise unfold, it's that Taylor Sheridan does not play it safe. He doesn't take shortcuts. He doesn't deliver anything less than a masterpiece every single time. Each new series he creates doesn't just build on the last, it raises the stakes, pushes boundaries, and delves deeper into the core themes that have made the Yellowstone saga a phenomenon: loyalty, legacy, sacrifice, survival, and the eternal fight to hold on to what's yours sore. Sheridan doesn't just write shows, he constructs entire worlds that are rich with tension, history, and gut-wrenching human drama. And 1944 promises to be no exception. When you think about it, every era of the Dutton family has been its own sweeping American epic, from the treacherous wagon trails of 1883, where survival depended on sheer grit and willpower, to the post-war chaos and cultural upheaval of 1923, which introduced us to a new generation of Dutons fighting to preserve what was left of their bloodline and their land. And let's not forget the modern-day battles we're witnessing on Yellowstone, where the Duttons are embroiled in land wars, corporate corruption, and family betrayals that have become the heart of the show. But now we're stepping into 1944, and this might just be the most daring chapter yet. Why? Because 1944 is set during the height of World War II, at a time when the very soul of American life was being tested like never before. Millions of men were drafted, women were stepping into roles they'd never held before, and the entire nation was on the brink of transformation. Meanwhile, ranches like the Yellowstone weren't just fighting the forces of nature or external enemies, they were battling the crushing demands of the U.S. government, economic hardship, and the ever-present fear of losing everything they had fought so hard to build. The Duttons, always loyal to each other, always defending their land, will now face unprecedented challenges, not only from the outside world, but from the internal fractures that threaten to break them apart. Now, imagine Taylor Sheridan capturing all of that: the heartbreak, the tension, the weight of history, not just with gunfights and rugged survival, but with his signature blend of poetic dialogue, raw emotion, and character arcs so sharp they could cut through steel. This isn't just about a war overseas. This is about the war at home, the fight for survival in a world that's changing faster than anyone can keep up with. If Sheridan leans into the full weight of this period, the sacrifice, the impossible choices, the personal losses, and shows us not only the battlefields, but the families torn apart by war, 1944 could very well become one of the most emotionally resonant and powerful stories in the entire Yellowstone universe. This isn't just another prequel. This is the next generation of the Dutton legacy, set against the backdrop of a world torn apart by war. And I don't know about you, but I can't wait to see how Taylor Sheridan brings this chapter to life. It's going to be one hell of a ride. This version is designed to draw in your audience even more, emphasizing the depth of the story, the emotional stakes, and the anticipation for what's to come in 1944. It's meant to keep the audience hooked while giving them a sense of the epic scope and emotional weight that Sheridan is known for. And let's not forget the family dynamics. If Spencer Dutton is truly still alive during this era, as recent clues suggest, then we'll be seeing an older, wiser, more weathered version of the character we came to love in 1923. Maybe he's a single father now. Maybe he's haunted by loss. Maybe he's facing the pressure of raising the next generation of Duttons while the world teeters on collapse. The possibilities for storytelling are endless and intensely personal. Of course, some fans may still be cautious. After all, Yellowstone Season 5 has left many viewers with mixed feelings. But even if the mainline series stumbled, the spin-offs have only continued to shine. And with 1944, we're not just getting another Western drama, we're getting a chance to explore a critical moment in both Dutton family history and American history. So yeah, we've got some time to wait. But when January 2026 finally rolls around, I have a feeling we won't just be watching another TV show, we'll be witnessing the next great installment in a generational saga. A story about how a family fights to hold on to what's theirs, even when the whole world is falling apart. And I, for one, can't wait to see how Sheridan brings it all to life. But let me know what you think. Here's where things really start to heat up, and I mean really heat up. Buckle up, because 1944 isn't going to be just another loosely related prequel or side story like many fans initially assumed. Oh no, Taylor Sheridan has far bigger plans in motion. This isn't merely a spin-off. It's a full-blown continuation, a bridge that ties together generations of the Dutton legacy in ways we've never seen before. The stakes are higher, the connections deeper, and the plotlines more intricate than anything we've experienced up until now. And let me tell you, from what we know so far, 1944 is about to shake the entire Yellowstone fandom to its core. Here's the big reveal: 1944 will pick up exactly where 1923 leaves off. This is a game changer. Think about it for a second. This isn't just a random time jump or a disjointed plotline tossed in for good measure. This is a direct continuation. Sheridan isn't letting us walk away from the emotional turmoil, the intense family drama, or the unresolved tensions we've invested in so deeply. No, we're bringing all of that with us. Every ounce of heartache, every moment of triumph, every piece of character growth, and every unresolved question we've been left with is not just going to sit idle. It's coming right with us into the 1944 story, ready to explode into new, unexpected territories. But here's where things get even more insane. You thought it couldn't get crazier. Well, hold on to your hats, because one of the main characters from 1923 is crossing over into 1944. That's right, a beloved and crucial character we've watched grow, struggle, and evolve in 1923 will continue their journey into this new chapter. And that, my friends, is where everything changes. This is where the true magic happens. The implications of this crossover are huge. We're not just seeing a character pop in for a quick cameo or a passing reference. This is a major plot development that will alter the course of the Dutton family saga. Think of the emotional weight behind this character, whose journey we followed so intently, is now stepping into the next chapter of their life in an entirely new and volatile era. 1944 will not only build on the legacy of 1923, but it will also thrust this character into the heart of a world reeling from the devastating effects of World War II, where every choice could have life-altering consequences. The beauty of Sheridan's storytelling lies in his ability to intertwine personal stakes with grand historical events. This isn't just a family drama. It's the story of survival in a rapidly changing world where the very foundation of the Dutton family is tested like never before. And with one of our favorite characters now crossing into this new era, we're in for a story that's bigger, bolder, and more emotional than anything we could have imagined. What we're witnessing here is more than just another prequel. It's the continuation of an American epic. The Duttons' fight to preserve their land, legacy, and honor isn't just a distant memory. It's alive and evolving, carried forward by the characters we've come to know and love. And as 1944 picks up where 1923 left off, it's not just about what happens next. It's about how everything that came before has led us to this pivotal moment in the Dutton family saga. So get ready, because this next chapter is going to redefine everything you thought you knew about the Yellowstone universe. It's bigger, it's bolder, and it's bringing the emotional and historical weight of the past directly into the future. You won't want to miss a single second of this. So who is it? Let me take you back to a moment I'll never forget. I was casually scrolling through the 1923 IMDb page, not really expecting anything earth-shattering. Just looking for updates, maybe a clue or two. But then, buried deep in the cast list for an upcoming episode, I saw something that made my jaw actually drop. There it was, a character credit that read Spencer, 1969. Let that sit with you for a second. Spencer Dutton. In 1969. Yes, you heard that right. Not only does Spencer survive the tragic, war-torn, gut-wrenching events of 1923, but he lives through another global conflict, the entire WWII era, and into the late 1960s. That's over 4 decades of Dutton history unfolding through his eyes. It changes everything. Because if Spencer makes it to 1969, then 1944 won't just feature him, it will likely revolve around him. Imagine this, an older, battle-worn Spencer Dutton, scarred by both the literal and emotional wars he's fought. He'll be the pillar, the anchor of the series. A man who's seen the worst of humanity, yet still stands, holding the weight of the past while carrying it into the future. Spencer will not just be surviving, he'll be passing down his hard-won wisdom, his pain, and his unyielding will to protect what's his. The one who teaches his family the lessons of resilience, loss, and the undying fight to preserve the legacy he holds so dearly. And in doing so, Spencer will prove that he's not just a survivor of the battles fought in 1923. He's an essential part of the Yellowstone timeline, a character whose journey could shift the course of the entire family's future. This idea flips the entire Dutton timeline upside down. Up until now, most fans assumed Jack and Elizabeth were destined to take the reins of the family's legacy. Maybe even be the grandparents of the John Dutton we know and love from Yellowstone. The assumption was that they would be the ones to pave the way for the modern Duttons. But now, with the possibility of Spencer being alive in 1944 and even into 1969, everything changes. This completely alters the bloodline conversation and opens up a whole new set of possibilities. Could Spencer and Alexandra be the true ancestors of the modern-day Dutton family? Could they be John Dutton's grandparents, carrying the torch of the family's legacy from generation to generation? It's a question that could completely rewrite everything we thought we knew about the Dutton bloodline. But there's even more at stake here. If Spencer is front and center in 1944, then we need to ask the tough question, who won't make it? As we saw in 1923, no one's survival is guaranteed. In fact, there's already growing speculation that Alexandra's survival is far from certain. Given all that she's endured in 1923, from harrowing challenges to life-threatening events, the odds aren't in her favor. Some fans believe that, tragically, she may not survive the journey to Montana, or perhaps won't make it much longer after arriving. If that's the case, Spencer will have to shoulder the burden of raising their child alone. Imagine him a single father in wartime Montana, fighting not only to protect his land, but to preserve his family's legacy as the world around him burns. A man alone, but driven by a deep sense of duty and love for his family, determined to carry the Dutton name into a new generation. The emotional complexity of this scenario is mind-blowing. A grieving father who has already fought for his life and lost so much, now forced to raise a child amidst the chaos of World War II. The emotional weight of raising a child alone in the face of unimaginable odds would be a gripping storyline. The vulnerability of Spencer, now a father facing the possibility of loss yet again, makes for a powerful narrative that would resonate deeply with fans. His journey would not just be about survival, it would be about legacy, family, and the sacrifices one must make for those they love. And as if that's not enough to stir the pot, this shift in Spencer's storyline opens up so many other questions. Will Spencer's child carry the weight of the Dutton legacy forward, becoming the missing link in the family's timeline? Could we be witnessing the birth of the next generation of Duttons, one whose identity has been shaped by the wars and tragedies of the past? The possibilities are endless, and every detail promises to be crucial as we witness how Spencer's life unfolds in this dangerous new era. The stakes are higher than ever, and the emotional stakes have never been more intense. Fans are about to witness not just the survival of a family, but the continuation of a legacy that's fought for with blood, sweat, and tears. Spencer's journey in 1944 will be nothing short of monumental. That's a storyline made for Sheridan. Emotional, gritty, honest, and it would give 1944 the perfect emotional core. So while many fans expected 1944 to be another standalone installment, it's turning out to be something far greater. It's shaping up to be the emotional and narrative spine of the entire Yellowstone universe, a series that connects the past, present, and future through one unforgettable character's journey. And that character is Spencer Dutton. That means not only does Spencer survive the brutal, war-torn world of 1923, but he lives through the Great Depression, World War II, and well into the late 60s. That's a lifetime of stories, pain, love, and transformation just waiting to be explored. Suddenly, everything we've seen of Spencer so far feels like just the beginning. This subtle reveal doesn't just confirm his survival, it hints at something much bigger. Spencer might just become the emotional anchor if this entire timeline, spanning from 1923 to 1944 and potentially beyond. And if that's true, 1944 could be the most character-driven and emotionally rich chapter of the saga yet. Isabel May didn't just play Elsa Dutton in 1883, she was Elsa Dutton. Her portrayal of Elsa transcended the screen. It became the heartbeat of the Dutton family, capturing the unbreakable spirit and untamed soul of the legacy in a way that no one else could. Elsa wasn't just a character, she was the essence of survival, love, and loss, and Isabel May brought her to life in a way that left an indelible mark on fans. Her tragic, gut-wrenching death at the end of 1883 still lingers in the hearts of the Yellowstone fandom, a pivotal moment that solidified Elsa as one of the franchise's most beloved figures. And yet, despite her passing, Elsa's presence hasn't truly left us. In 1923, Isabel May continues to play an important role, narrating the rise, the fall, and the relentless fight of the generations that followed her. Her voice has been the bridge connecting all the generations, offering wisdom and gravitas, reminding us that Elsa's legacy is far from forgotten. But what if that's not all? What if the haunting beauty of Elsa's legacy isn't just echoing through the words of the narrator, but is about to come alive once again in a way we didn't expect? There have been whispers swirling through the fandom, tantalizing fans with the possibility that Isabel May might not only return as the voice of Elsa in 1944, but could actually appear on screen in a whole new role. Not as Elsa because, of course, Elsa's journey has already ended, but as someone who feels like Elsa. Someone whose essence carries the same fiery passion, wisdom, and strength that made Elsa such a magnetic force. A brand new character, yet one that holds the same indomitable spirit as the woman who once stood tall on the frontier. Imagine a character that serves as a spiritual echo of Elsa's legacy, a guiding force that honors her memory while breathing new life into the story. And let's face it, this would be nothing short of genius. It would allow Sheridan to give fans the emotional connection to Elsa that they've been longing for without undoing the immense emotional weight of her death. It would honor her memory in a way that feels respectful while simultaneously pushing the narrative forward. This new character, while not Elsa herself, could feel like the continuation of everything Elsa stood for. She could act as a symbol of the enduring power of family, sacrifice, and survival values that are woven into the very fabric of the Dutton legacy. This character could become the anchor in 1944, a grounding force that ties the past to the present, reminding us of the blood, sweat, and tears that built the ranch and the family. Imagine this new character appearing in moments of intense struggle, offering words of wisdom to Spencer or the next generation, perhaps guiding them through the trials of World War II and the challenges of a rapidly changing world. She could embody the same fierce love for the land, the unbreakable bond of family, and the undeniable will to survive that Elsa held dear. But more than that, she would remind the Duttons and us that the spirit of the family transcends time. The battles fought on the frontier in 1883, the hardships endured in 1923, and the wars fought in 1944 are all part of a single, unbroken story. And this character, carrying Elsa's fire, could be the reminder of where it all began and the driving force that keeps it all going. In this way, Sheridan could masterfully keep Elsa's presence alive, creating an emotional through line that would resonate with longtime fans while adding a fresh layer of depth and meaning to 1944. This character would be the bridge, the link between the generations, and a vital part of the unfolding legacy of the Dutton family. What better way to keep Elsa's memory alive than to let her spirit continue to shape the future, not in the past, but in a whole new chapter? It would be a creative, poignant, and brilliant decision that could very well become one of the most memorable moments in the entire Yellowstone universe. And maybe, just maybe, it's not about replacing Elsa, but about showing how her spirit lives on through the generations, through the choices they make, through the land they fight for, through the blood that still runs in their veins. If Sheridan pulls this off, it wouldn't just be fan service, it would be poetic. A full circle moment. A reminder that even in a world as brutal and unforgiving as Yellowstone, some legacies refuse to fade. I don't know about you guys, but I love this idea. For more weekly updates and analysis on 1944 and other Yellowstone shows, make sure to like and follow. Meanwhile, the video on the screen might also interest you.